Guys, it's me again. New edition of First Chapter Friday, my favorite day of the week. Today, we're going to do something totally different. I want to freak anybody out, but this book is considered poetry. I know half of you are rolling your eyes right now, but you got to trust me a little bit, okay? It's not just poetry. So, the book we're going to do today is called For Everyone, and it is by one of my favorite authors on the planet, Jason Reynolds, the author of the track series Ghost, Lou, Sunny, that whole series, the book Long Way Down. I mean, he's got just a litany of books, and each one is like better than the one before. I love Jason Reynolds. He just has a way of writing that's like lyrical almost. He's pretty amazing. So this is a book that is not fiction. It's actually nonfiction. It is a book that he's writing to you, to me, to all of us. That's why it's called For Everyone. And those of you that like things that are kind of like uplifting, inspirational, um, po- poem type things, this is going to be right up your alley. And even some of you that don't, I think you'll find something in here that you really, really like. It is a super quick read. Super quick read. It's meant to be that way. So, without further ado, For Everyone by Jason Reynolds. The line that I like from it is dreams don't have timelines, deadlines, and aren't always in straight lines. And that is something I can tell you from my longer time on earth than you that is absolutely true. Your dreams do not always follow a timeline. Like you say, well, when I graduate college, I'm going to get my dream job and I'm going to do this. Sometimes things don't follow that timeline that you have set up, and that's okay. Dreams don't have deadlines, which means no matter how old you are, you can still have dreams that you want to accomplish. And dreams are not always in straight lines, which means there's not always a straight path to your dreams. Sometimes you kind of get zigzaggy, and that's okay too. That's why I love him. So, this is how it starts, and this is literally the length of his pages. This is one page, this is 2 pages. So, you can see why I'm saying it's a quick read. Let's jump in. I want to see what you come up with in your sketch notes too, because I think there's a lot here that you can really relate to and use going forward. Okay, here we go. Dear Dreamer, this letter is being written from a place of raw honesty and love, but not at all a place of expertise on how to make your dreams come true. I don't know nothing about that. I haven't gone through it all and come out on the other side pinned with a blue ribbon, draped in a victor's sash or dollar bills or even unshakable happiness. In fact, I have yet to see my own dream made tangible. This letter is being written from the inside, from the front line and the fault line, from the uncertain thick of it all, from a man with a straight line mouth and an ego with a slow leak. From a man doing it the only way he knows how, splitting his cries and his smiles right down the middle, swallowing his moonshine mistakes while in the sunlight his sweat irrigates his life, and that life he, like you, has been tilling, hoping that there is soon a harvest coming. At 16, I thought I would have made it by now. At 18, I said, 25 is when I'll make my first million. At 25, I moved back in with my mother, bill collectors breathing on me like the Brooklyn summer. And now at almost 28, I'm just almost 28. So I got no answers for you. The truth is, our dreams could be as far away as forever or as close as lunchtime. Tomorrow, you could wake up and read this letter on a billboard, or you could wake up and have forgotten who even wrote it. It all just depends. Some say it depends on skill. Some say will. Some say luck. Some say buck. Some say race. Some say face. Some say on Sunday, God got a mighty, mighty plan, but nobody really knows what it depends on. But everybody knows that it depends. So I went out and bought all the books on the ways to make dreams come true, laying out the how to, somehow spinning life into a fantastic formula for dummies and dream chasers written by experts and dream catchers who swear that I can 1 plus 1 and right foot, left foot my way into fulfillment, never taking into consideration all this mess I got strapped to my back and my head and my legs and my heart. And them books didn't bandage my fat and flat feet swollen from this journey. The pages didn't spend, nor could they be eaten to ease the hunger. Though I could curl up with one, I couldn't curl up on one and get a decent rest or a respite from the hunt. Useless. I thought about burning them. At least I could use the firelight for this long and often dark road. One thing I am now certain of is that this road less traveled has in fact been traveled by more suckers than you think. All of us out here slumped over wearing weird fake broken smiles trying to avoid the truth that we've all got road rage. Mhm. We are a bunch of exhausted stragglers, exalted strugglers, disciples of the dreamers who came before us, students of a different Bible, reading the book of the City of Angels in the Big Apple, and an orange house in Old New Orleans, and a cheap, barren flat above a bistro in Paris. We are led by the Moses in our minds to the promised land in our hearts that we know is real. At 16, I thought I would have made it by now. Now I'm making up what it means as I go. But this letter is not about making it because I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that at all. What I do know is how it feels. How it feels when that spirit thing won't stop, raking the metal mug across your rib cage, clanging like a machine gun fired at a church bell, vibrating everything irreverent inside. Sounds like a prison revolt that only you can hear and feel. And nasty things are being said about the prison guard, that scared, controlling, oppressive part of you and everyone else. If you are anything like me, you hope it never stops. You hope the bubbling never dies down and the yearning to break out and break through never simmers. You hope the voice that delivers the loudest whispers of what you envision never silences, that it never cowers behind fear and expectations that other people strap to your life like a backpack full of bricks or those books that are written by experts. Because if it disappeared, if the voices vanished and you were no longer overtaken by the taunts of your own potential, no longer blinded by a perfect vision of your purpose, no longer engorged with passion, what would happen? Well, I guess nothing. And to me, there's nothing scarier than nothing. Even when nothing seems to be going right, or nothing seems to be going right. I'd rather be bothered by the loud knocking on the door inside, even though I answered years ago, the knocking continues. I'd rather my appetite be wet by a teaspoon of almost there every now and then. I'd rather suffer from internal eczema, constantly irritated by the itch of possibility. There have been many anxious nights where darkness has slept around me, my friends, cocooned in a coziness that I have yet to meet, my eyes swollen with exhaustion, my body sputtering on its way down, but my dream won't stop crying, screaming like a colicky infant. Sometimes I think it needs to be changed, but usually it just needs to be fed. So I feed it everything I have, and it feeds me everything I have. Though the struggle is always made to sound admirable and poetic, the thumping uncertainty is still there. Sure, I know my dream is as real as my hands, but I grip tight a short leash with insecurity tied to the end, wagging along beside me. And if you're like me, you've struggled trying to stomp out the flame of doubt and fear, the warmth and comfort always enticing and familiar, though venomous and life extinguishing. I know people who have burned, a burn so violent it can't be categorized by any numbered degree. I know people who have burned from foot to torso emotionally, legs of passion turned to soot. Yet, no matter how hard I've tried to escape it, to kill the deceptive heat dancing like a devil's tongue, to douse it with all the will and faith I can muster, I know a tiny ember always glows beneath the brush, and it whispers to me only when I step to the edge of excellence, my toes clawing at the cliff, my mind already airborne. It whispers to me that I don't have wings, I don't have a shot, I don't have a clue, but to me, I don't have a choice, so I jump anyway. Dreamer, if you're like me, you jump anyway. This letter isn't for any specific kind of dream. It isn't intended for a certain genre, a certain medium, trade, or denomination. It is only intended for the courageous. Maybe you are a dancer, moving to the sound of your own future, or a musician, banging, strumming, bowing, plucking, blowing into, creating soundtracks for dream trains chugging along through the thick night. Or maybe you're a painter, spilling and splattering confessions across the face of a stretched canvas, or an actor praying at the altar of your alter ego, or a photographer with a finger on the button like a quick draw cowboy shooting not to kill anyone but to preserve something forever. Or maybe you're even a writer for some strange reason, writing expert books, pages of good intention and rah, 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 and fantasy and sometimes truth, or maybe even letters to people that you don't know, but do know that you love. Or maybe you aren't an artist at all. Dreams aren't reserved for the creatives. Maybe you're an athlete, a gladiator hoping for a shot at the lion, or maybe you're 18 and plan to make your first million by 25. It's not impossible. Or maybe you're 18 and plan to make it to 21. Also not impossible, nor is 22, 23, or 24. At 25, I moved back in with my mother, and I found out that she loved to teach little kids and bake and help the needy. Her passion made plain, her dream made real after 40 years of 40 hours a week behind a desk. You might be 50 and think it's too late, but I will tell you, jump anyway. Dreams don't have timelines, deadlines, and aren't always in straight lines. Jump anyway. Or maybe your dream is to have a family, to wear corny t shirts and hold up signs and be the cameraman at the little one's games, to kiss your child on his head and heart, selflessly fertilizing his or her passion. Stay awake with them when the dream is crying like a colicky infant. Help them feed it, and before sleep, do your best to smother that tiny ember of doubt and fear that glows beneath the brush. This letter is for us all, the awkward angels with crooked halos and secondhand wings, the irresponsible and curious fire bellied babies, the deformed with hearts on the outside and ears on the inside, the squares who use 9 to 5 cubes as planning sessions for the real work, for the rebel children, the wild ones, the long shots, the bad mouthed, the side eyed, the terribly, terribly, terribly envied secretly by the safe, for those who bear the cross, the two perpendicular planks of passion who find life is best when they're nailed to it, for the jumpers. This letter is for us all to remind us that we are many, that we are right for trying, that purpose is real, that making it is possible. But this letter is not about making it because I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that at all. Besides, I'm not sure that making it even matters so much. When it comes to my dream, the way I like to describe it is that it's a rabid beast that found me when I was young. It bit me and then infected me, and before I could catch it, it shot off into the darkness. And now I spend my life searching for it, hunting it down. I know I'm on its trail because I can smell it, I can hear it. Sometimes I think I can even see it. But either way, I know I'm on the right track. My nose to the dirt, foaming at the spirit. I look underneath heavy stones, behind massive trees, deep in dark caves, and I will keep looking until I find that beast, that thing that bit me when I was young. Because the truth is, finding that beast may or may not happen. But the treasures I've discovered under the heavy stones and behind the massive trees and deep in the dark caves have created the hunter and the human that I am. Your dream is the mole behind your ear, the chip in your front tooth, your freckles. It's the thing that makes you special, but not the thing that makes you great. The courage in trying, the passion in living, and the acknowledgement and appreciation of the beauty happening around you does just that. Dreamer, I am not fit to say much more because I don't know much more than that. And if you do, please write back to me. If not, please accept this as just a few words of encouragement. And if this letter means nothing to you, if it's just more pointless weight added to an already heavy life, then feel free to burn it and use it for the firelight for this long and often dark road. But if you somehow find truth, comfort, or anything at all within this ramble, keep it close and use it for firelight for this long and often dark road. With love, Jason Reynolds. That's it. That's the whole book. I have chills every time I read this because there's a different part of it that speaks to me. So I'm hoping that somewhere hidden in your sketch notes today, you'll share with me what your dream is. It doesn't have to be like, well, I want to be a third grade teacher when I grow up, or I want to be a microbiologist. Like it can be, maybe your dream is just like to find peace. Maybe your dream is to bungee jump. Maybe your dream is to try something that you've never done before. What's your dream? I'd love to see it in your sketch notes. You're never too old. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. I hope it helped. I hope that you found something in it that means something to you. Have a great day.